So as we push toward the NRL 22 effort for shooting better, we're working on the Clark Custom rifle tonight, again, which is based on the Ruger 1022 action. Tonight we'll be taking off the Weaver base and we'll be applying to it a Picatinny rail. To make sure that is tight, we'll be using some blue thread locker and mounting the Bushnell Match Pro scope to it. With that, we will be using the scope leveling kit from Defensive Edge in Rathdrum, Idaho. Great little set to have. And then, of course, the UTG Pro rail to mount the scope on. Be using Wheeler tools, both a regular screwdriver set and a fat wrench for inch-pounds torque. Going to mount one of the screws without any thread locker just to make sure we have a placeholder spot that we're not sliding around too much, because this is going to be set to 15 inch-pounds. I do believe it is, if I'm not mistaken, for a Ruger action. So we're going to set this to 15 inch-pounds. There we go. I'm going to gingerly put a little bit of this on the screw. Tiny little bit. We don't need anything going into the action. I'll take that down to there. What we'll do is we'll put the front two in and we'll snug those down to 15 inch-pounds, and then we will go ahead and put the rear two in and torque them down. Go ahead and torque those to 15 inch-pounds. Not sure I like torquing straight screws to that. There we go. Okay. We will pop this one back out. Again, a very small amount of thread lock. A little bit of a snug with the fat wrench. And I think we're going to stop there. One final snug. Okay. There's the Picatinny rail mounted. So what we want to make sure we do is ensure the levelness of this. We're going to set the scope on first. And we're going to set it back that far at first, simply because I don't have the other two sections for adjusting the length of pull. It's still at least one section short, possibly. So we're going to set it here toward the end just to make sure we have a good mount with it to get it set on there, because we may eventually have to adjust the rings as well to get them a little closer together. But for now, I think we'll be good. Again, some people might laugh and think the rings are cringeworthy. They're Discovery rings off of Amazon. We've tried them on several rifles, and they seem to be quite robust, not overly heavy. The tube sections are lapped, so they fit really well. And these we're going to tighten up a good bit. I'm not going to torque them in simply because we may have to do some adjustment with the rings itself. There's still some play in here. We can adjust these inboard, at least one more. Got a lot of play up here on the front of the tube to be able to draw that in more appropriate, but we want to get this mounted here. Again, the back of this is off a little bit, but this will adjust a little bit later once we get the cheek rests in and the length of pull set. We'll get these nailed in pretty good. What we'll do then in that finishing process is We can utilize the level in the action. The level can be placed across the Picatinny rail, which we can see it's not balanced at the moment. It's not properly rotated to give us a good bubble position. And then this one will go on top of the turret, and we'll make sure that once we're locked in, with the scope being level, we'll make sure that, or with the mount being level on the Picatinny rail, we'll make sure the scope is not on cant when we get to that final setting for that. So here we have the Clark Custom 22 with the Bushnell Match Pro sitting on top, ready to roll. We'll get this all ironed out and adjusted, and be shooting by this weekend.